I am out in the garden this morning, in particular working with my watermelon. I just want to share a couple things I observed and show you how I hand pollinate my watermelon. My watermelon are growing great. I've got them growing vertically and they're suspended. I had one that was 9 pounds that broke off, so once they start getting large I'll have to build some kind of a hammock for them, and I'll just attach that to the wire above and support the watermelon. This one down here is pushing about 15 pounds, and you notice the cutoff tip here. That's because when I have fruit set, I cut the vine off, so all the energy goes into producing fruit. You'll also notice here a dead, dried up insect. This happens to be a nymph of a leaf-legged stink bug. I killed this and many other of its relatives with one application of my soapy insecticide. Please check the link below to see that video, but it is very, very effective on stink bugs, aphids, spider mites, and other sucking insects. I don't know all the insects that it's effective on, but it sure worked well on those. What you're looking at here is vertically growing watermelon, cantaloupe, and cucumbers. And the reason why I like to do that is because here I have it in a 10-foot space. I have 3 watermelon, 3 cucumbers, and 3 cantaloupe plants. If I were doing that on the ground, it would take up dramatically more space. I learned how to do this vertical gardening method and the spacing from reading the Mittleider gardening course book. Check below this video for a link on how to maximize your garden space by vertically gardening. It has completely transformed our garden. The productivity and the amount of produce we get per square foot has dramatically increased. So as I was looking through my garden this morning, I noticed that I have a watermelon down here. And this is a female watermelon blossom because I can see the fruit behind it. The blossoms that don't have fruit are just a long, skinny flower like this. And since it's early in the morning, the male flower is open and the female flower is open. So I'm simply going to take this here and I'm going to rub them together and make sure that this gets pollinated, because if it doesn't get pollinated, the fruit will dry up and just fall off. I'm trying to maintain 1 or 2 or at the most 3 melons per plant at a time. And so I like to come out here in the morning just to make sure that I'm not getting too much production, and that if there is a female blossom there, that I do pollinate it. Here's a watermelon fruit that I missed, and you can see the blossom has already dried up, so this will be sloughed off by the plant and will not produce fruit there. Here you can see I have a cantaloupe growing here, suspended, and this is actually on the growing tip of the plant. This has grown so much that it's grown from the ground all the way up, over the 2x4, and coming back down. And this had a lot of growth, probably another 6 feet after this, and I debated whether I should cut it because it is a growing tip. I decided to go ahead and cut it so the energy goes into this melon, and as soon as I did that, it started growing other vines, and I've got a lot of other female blossoms growing, so this will continue to produce wonderful cantaloupe. So regardless whether it's watermelon, cantaloupe, cucumbers, if you don't have a lot of pollinators like bees and wasps and other insects, then you may want to go through and hand pollinate your blossoms. Just identify the female blossoms and then find a male blossom and pollinate them, and you'll have a great harvest. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. And if you hand pollinate your plants, you assure yourself a great harvest.